Assalamu alaikum and peace be upon you all. I like to think of myself as technology forward, development forward, on the cutting edge of what's happening, and generally able to keep an open mind. That said, I also believe in the saying that you should keep an open mind, but not so open that your brain falls out. Now, let me tell you about an investment that has seemingly caused a lot of people's brains to fall right out. NFTs, or non-fungible tokens. Put mildly, NFTs as an investment, in my humble opinion, are super dumb. I'm going to lay out the case for why I think this is in this video. For those who are unfamiliar, NFTs are digital tokens hosted on a blockchain, but are different from cryptocurrencies in that each token is unique. So in the case of Bitcoins, for example, owning one Bitcoin is the same as owning any other Bitcoin. If you own a Bitcoin, you don't care which particular Bitcoin it is. Therefore, Bitcoins are considered fungible. That is, they are interchangeable with one another. In the case of NFTs, each one is unique. If you own an NFT, you do care which particular NFT you own. Hence the term non-fungible in its name. This is at least in theory. The truth is, NFTs are not what they are commonly advertised to be. Let me explain. Perhaps you have heard the term blockchain. A blockchain is just a system for keeping track of information over time. This system is enforced by a network of connected computers, so that if one computer gets tampered with or corrupted, the rest of the network will maintain the integrity of the data. Additionally, changes to the stored data have to be agreed to by the network. You can sort of think of a blockchain as a giant Excel spreadsheet, shared and stored on a network of computers where new changes to the spreadsheet have to be agreed on by all computers in the network. So how do NFTs fit in this picture? Well, NFTs are just lines in this giant spreadsheet that point to somewhere on the internet. Remember when I said NFTs were not what they are commonly advertised to be? This is because most people think that NFTs are digital files. They may think of Bored Apes and CryptoPunks and think that these images are NFTs. They aren't. NFTs are not digital images or any other type of digital file. They just refer to digital files on the internet. By themselves, NFTs are simply records in the blockchain. Let me show you. If I go to one of the most popular NFT exchanges in the world, OpenSea, and navigate to one of the more popular NFTs listed on their site, I see that this particular NFT is owned by user01punks. The NFT belongs to a collection of NFTs called Otherdeed for Otherside, which was created by Otherside Meta. If I scroll down and click on details, I'm going to see a token ID 83913. Click on the token ID and I'm going to open a page that contains a URL to an image, or basically the address of the image on the internet. If I copy this URL and paste it into my web browser, I'm going to go to a location on the internet where the image I saw on the OpenSea page is stored. Now here's the kicker. When the user 01punks bought this NFT, they did not gain any exclusive rights over this photo. They do not own the copyright of this photo. I can easily right-click, save this image to my computer, and make as many copies of it as I want. When this particular NFT was purchased, the buyer paid for the token ID 83913, which was created by Otherside Meta and points to this image to be associated with their name on a blockchain, in this case the Ethereum blockchain. In other words, user 01punks paid for this sale and transfer of the token to be written into the Ethereum blockchain. Now, what can 01punks do now that this sale and transfer of token 83913 is associated with their name on the blockchain? What can they do with this purchase, which cost them 18.69 Ethereum, which is around $36,000 as of the date of this video? Well, they can do one of two things. They can tell people that the token is associated with their name on the blockchain. That is, they can brag, spoiler alert, no one cares. Or they can sell their token to a greater fool. To claim that partaking in this insanity is somehow a form of investing is so nonsensical, it begs belief. Imagine someone visits a public park. They really like this public park and enjoy it. They find someone who works at this public park and offer to buy the park. The park worker says, sorry, it's a public park, it can't be owned. The person insists. So the park worker, seeing that this person is eager to part with their money, makes them the following offer. I'm going to give you a deed, the park worker says. I'm going to give you a deed to the park, but this deed gives you 0 rights over the park. Everyone else can still use the park exactly as they always have, and just as much as you can. You have no authority over the park. All this deed allows you to do is to say that you own the deed to the park. You can also sell this deed to someone else if you so choose. This useless deed has the same utility as an NFT. How supremely dumb is this? Now, I know there have been some attempts at connecting NFTs to real-world objects and utilities. Basically bundling the NFT with something else of actual value. But these attempts just serve to obscure the worthlessness of the NFT. For example, some have proposed using NFTs in place of event tickets. So instead of getting a QR code, for example, you would get an NFT. This exercise in no way makes NFTs themselves valuable. If you start selling tickets to events as NFTs, any value associated with these NFTs is just a reflection of the value of the event, not the NFT. Going back to the public park example, if the public park worker starts using their worthless park deeds to wrap shawarma sandwiches with and people start buying them more, this doesn't mean the deeds are now more valuable. It just means shawarma is delicious, of course. Not to mention, the use cases that are being bundled with NFTs seem forced and complete overkill. You don't need an immutable record stored and maintained forever in a blockchain to record the ticket you used to attend an event. Get over yourself. This is a complete waste of time and energy. This also brings me to another important topic, which is that in addition to NFTs being a pure greater fool trade, if there ever was one, it's also an incredible waste of energy. One researcher calculated that a certain artist selling 2 pieces of artwork used over 175 megawatt hours, creating the greenhouse gas emissions of 21 years of a US household's electricity use. To say the NFT craze is analogous to the tulip bubble in Europe hundreds of years ago is a gross mischaracterization and offensive to tulips. Tulips are good for the environment and beautiful to look at. NFTs are horrible for the environment and typically look like they were created in a state hospital for the criminally insane. Now, I'm not saying that the technology behind NFTs cannot potentially fill a role where it is actually needed. What I am saying is that as of today, as far as I can tell, all the use cases for NFTs seem forced and completely asinine, especially those which relate to digital files. It makes absolutely no sense to try to own digital files which can be perfectly copied with 0 effort. So far, if I'm being candid, NFTs seem like a solution desperately in search of a problem. So the next time you want to buy a digital art NFT, do us all a favor and just save the image to your desktop and burn your money instead. You'll end up with the same image and less harm to the environment will be done. I'm not changing my thoughts on the general permissibility of NFTs from a halal perspective, since there technically isn't anything inherently haram in them as a concept or a technology. So I can't say they are haram for everyone all the time, regardless of use case. I'm just saying that I think people should remember that on the day of judgment, they're going to be asked about their time and their health and their wealth and how they spent them. If you're spending time and effort and money on NFTs, just make sure you're comfortable answering the questions you are going to be asked on the day of judgment. Now, if you'd like to avoid making asinine investment decisions, at least to the extent that I and my team are able to, consider becoming a PIF member. We do our best to provide intelligent, rational analysis of various stock and crypto investments from the perspective of investors that are trying to build wealth in a halal way. So far, we have crypto, growth stock, and dividend stock portfolios, which I manage myself using my own money. I communicate all buy and sell decisions with members when they happen. The link to become a PIF member is in the description, so I encourage you to check it out. Also, please be aware, there are a number of social media accounts that have been impersonating me and Practical Islamic Finance, reaching out to people and trying to get money out of them. I suspect they have an NFT collection that they like to get you in on. Just know that these people are scammers. My social media accounts are all linked to on practicalislamicfinance.com. Any other social media accounts are impersonations. Also, I will never reach out on social media offering trading or investment advice, so please be safe and report these impersonators because they immediately block me when they create their accounts, so I can't actually see their accounts. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe. Until next time, make sure to take care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum and peace be upon you all.